Well, this is probably my favorite Hendrix song. His voice is so clear, emphatic, getting across the emotions. You feel like he really believes the words on this. I mean, he's great on all of his, but I really like this one. It's my favorite. And it's known for probably at least three famous things. One is his riff on this. The drum work and bass are just amazing as well, but his riff, it's Bob Dylan lyrics. And of course, Hendrix loved Dylan's work, did covers of several Dylan songs. This was probably the best cover. And along those lines, the third thing it's known for is the fact that Hendrix did a better job, really, on the interpretation of Dylan's lyrics than even Dylan himself. Dylan has it as sort of a folksy pop song with, it's really nice. I really like it, but you just can't, the grit that Hendrix puts into it is just off the charts. It's been considered by many critics to be the best cover of all time. And Dylan himself, even in the 70s and 80s, came right out and said that he thought that Hendrix did a better job with it. He filled in the spaces better, etc. And Dylan started using parts of Hendrix's interpretation in Dylan's own performances of the song All Along the Watchtower. And speaking of All Along the Watchtower, the lyrics on this are pretty amazing. I mean, they're Dylan lyrics. The guy was a poet. What's it about? Well, it depends on who you talk to. It seems pretty clear, but then maybe it's not. And some of those, a lot of times, those can be your best songs where there's a little bit of mystery, providing almost a sort of greater import to the song, psychological import to the song, because maybe you're wrong about it. Anyway, ostensibly, it's about the music industry. It's about creativity, artists, and this has been done obviously hundreds of times, and they're going up against the man. You know, the man is the prince in the third verse on this, you know, and walking along the watchtower and looking over his subjects who are the players. And of course, Dylan uses the two, he personifies this with the Joker and the thief, which I've always found interesting, a bit confusing and sort of enticing at the same time. The Joker and a thief are two sort of outcasts in society, you know? Nobody can really get close to them. They are sort of rebels, and artists are in a way sort of rebels, right? And I guess that's what Dylan is trying to say. And so this only has 12 lines in it. The song does. So I'm just going to go ahead and read those lines. You can skip forward about 30 seconds if you want to, but it's really, or maybe a minute, because I'm going to explain a little bit as I go. There must be some way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Businessman, they drink my wine. Plowmen dig my earth. None of them along the line know what any of it is worth. And that's really interesting, isn't it? Nobody in the music industry really understands the worth of a song. They only care about what it's going to make. The worth is felt by the artist, him or herself. No reason to get excited, the thief, he kindly spoke. There are many among us who feel that life is but a joke. I think that's interesting that he uses the word joke when he's talking to a joker who thinks that life is a joke. Not sure if Dylan was trying to say anything with that, but anyway. But you and I, we've been through that, and this is not our fate. So let us not talk falsely now. The hour is getting late. So let's just move on with our life. And as we find out in a little bit, they're heading someplace. They're heading towards the Watchtower. I guess the music industry offices, the label offices, if you want to put it that way. All along the Watchtower, princes kept the view, while all the women came and went, barefoot servants too. Wow. That's a hell of a picture. Outside in the distance, a wildcat did growl. Two riders were approaching. The wind began to howl. I like the poetry there, the rhyming. The wildcat, I guess, being just the world itself. You've got to survive. The artist has to survive. The wildcat's behind them as they're approaching the label itself. And they're steeped in the survival, but they have to go up against the man. Two riders were approaching. The Joker and the thief approaching. So yeah, so that's all of that. It is so cryptic. It's not like, Pink Floyd's Have a Cigar and Welcome to the Machine, which are obvious broadsides against the music industry. I kind of like how cryptic this one is. And it lends itself to angst in interpretation. And I think that's where Hendrix beats Dylan himself, is Hendrix gets that angst across and that energy and defiance. Yeah. So let's listen to the Jimi Hendrix Experience. And this is from 68. Dylan's was 67. So let's get going into this. Strong drum work, I love. Strong bass.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
Out of here.
Say the joker to the thief.
Enunciation.
There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Businessman there, drink my wine. Plowman, dig my earth. None will level on the mine. Nobody of it is worth. Hey, hey. No reason to get excited. The thief be kindly spoke. There are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke. But you and I, we've been through that, and this is not our fate. So let us start talking falsely now. The hour's getting late. Hey!
God, it's pure genius. It's pure genius, folks. Wow. There's just so much to say on that. I love his voice, the enunciation, the defiance comes through in the diction, the enunciation in his voice, and the growls he puts into it, and the emphasis he puts on it. This is so far superior to Dylan's version. It's almost like Hendrix himself felt the lyrics. Like obviously they had both been at that place where you're the little man going up against the big man. But Hendrix's version is so freaking defiant, where Dylan's is almost more sort of controlled and just sort of resigning. So there's almost sort of a resignation to it, sort of a comfortable aspect to it. And I can see why Dylan felt like this is where how he was really feeling about what he was saying. And maybe that's what Hendrix let Dylan get. The guitar on this, I mean, up to that date in 1968, when this came out, this may be the greatest guitar performance of all time. And maybe only just Hendrix outdoing himself previous to this, because this was on his third album. And the drum work on this, I love how the tambourine keeps pace on this. And then the surreal psychedelic aspect of the guitar and the distortion that was coming in, and it's got that sort of Hendrix experience distortion from the late 60s that I really like. And, almost puts that person who's approaching the Watchtower in that sort of surreal place. And, I feel like I can relate to that, because we've all been up against the man before, right? Yeah. So, but just his riff and what he does with it. I mean, he evidently, from what I remember, he did dozens of takes on this before he got it the way he wanted it. Worked on it for 6 months. I'm not sure he ever did that on a song before. So it says something that he put that much work into getting this thing just right. And it shows in the final product. It's just immaculate. It's just seamless. Wow. Drum work's amazing on this too. It gets across that sort of defiance as well. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, for me, it's my favorite song by Hendrix. Anyway, yeah, y'all let me know what you think. Okay, I'll catch you soon. Leave your comments down below. Okay, I'll catch you soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye now.